Hello everyone and welcome to Your Health, Your Choice. I am Dr. Roopnarine and we are coming to you live from our studios at Olera Heights in San Fernando. Today is Wednesday the 26th of October 2022 and on tonight's program we're going to be discussing nutrition. In studio with me tonight is Mr. James Harper. Mr. Harper has a Bachelor of Sciences degree in Nutrition and Dietetics. Mr. Harper also has an associate degree in culinary management. Mr. James Harper is also a well-known diabetic educator. As usual tonight, guys, our numbers should come up at the bottom of your screens, and we'll do our very best to answer each and every one of your questions during the program. So, guys, let's talk about nutrition and diet, and let's say hello to Mr. James Harper. James, how you doing, buddy?
Hi, Dr. Robin.
It's great to have you on the program. We reconnected recently after a gap of about 10 years, and I'm really, really pleased to have you on the program. I think you're someone who could deliver a very important message to the public of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thanks for having me here, Dr. Robin.
All right,
It's a great pleasure.
No problem.
Okay.
So, James, let's just start off like really basic stuff, right? Very important to the public. The public's always been told that they need to look at food labels when they go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
We keep telling people they need to read their food labels, they need to understand what they're eating.
Right.
Right? So today I went to the supermarket to grab lunch, coincidentally, and I'm looking around and there's these two elderly people, a couple, and they're looking and they're struggling to read it because it's small, first of all.
True.
And they're discussing it, actually, you know, is it too much sugar, is too little bit of sugar? So you can see them looking for something,
right,
but you could see them not fully understanding what is beneficial and what is not beneficial. All right? So James, if you could just give us some real practical points and some tips, because sometimes the chemical names are very long and confusing.
Yeah.
What is it that we should be looking for in the supermarket when we go? What is it in the labels that we should be looking out for? That's real simply what is dangerous out there and what we should be getting some more of.
Okay, so first thing first, what you need to do is look at the ingredient listing.
Right.
Okay, that's the first thing.
Right.
Not the amount of calories, not the amount of fat, the
Right.
ingredients listed.
Right.
Reason being, because the more ingredients a food item may have, the more processed it may be.
Right.
Right? So let's give an example. Margarine. Margarine
Yes.
has all kind of different stearic acid and all these other things.
Yeah.
As opposed to butter,
Yeah.
salt and cream.
Yeah.
Right? Olive oil, if you understand me,
Yeah.
coconut oil, you know. So the more ingredients that's on a label, the more processed it might be. Also look for the health claims. Be very careful of the health claims.
Right.
Like something like low fat.
Yeah.
Right? Now usually low fat foods, when you remove fat from a food, they usually replace it with something else because fat gives food flavor. Right? So if they remove fat from the food, what they will do, they'll put something else. More than likely is sugar.
Right.
So always look for health claims. Sometimes it might say 100% vitamin C. And when you look at it, you see a whole bunch of sugar, a whole bunch of salt, a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah. I would agree with you and that sometimes we watch these labels and we see heart healthy, and then we see may improve cholesterol,
Right.
and I think it's false advertising, and I'm getting that coming back from you, and you are basically telling the public, forget that claim.
Forget the claim.
Forget the claim, what they write in it, and go straight back into the ingredients.
Go straight to the ingredient listing.
That's a very important point.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Another point is that always look for the hidden salt and hidden sugar.
Right.
So you will see things like, so salt will be MSG, monosodium glutamate.
Yeah.
Okay. For the hidden sugar, you'll see things like corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup,
Yeah.
mannitol, sorbitol, xylitol, all these other different types of sugars.
Yeah.
Always look for the hidden salt and sugar, right?
Right.
Another point is that always look to see where salt and sugar is on the ingredient listing.
Okay.
If salt and sugar is on the ingredient listing, first, second, or third, or even the fourth ingredient,
Yeah.
put it down.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Because
So-
it's a high concentration of that.
Exactly. Another point, another reference, what you can use, because I know it's a bit difficult to like count grams and trying to measure grams.
Yeah.
Always look at the percentages,
Yeah.
right? So there are certain nutrients that are there. So you'll see things like sodium.
Yeah.
You see sugars, sodium, cholesterol, all these other things. Now there's something called the 5%, 50%, 15% rule. 5% mean it's a low source, and 15% mean it's a high source. So things like vitamin A, fiber, vitamin C, and other nutrients. If it's 50% and above, that means it's a good source of those nutrients.
Right.
But if you're seeing sodium is 15%, 20% per serving, or the sugars, it's a high amount of percentage, or the carbohydrates, then put it down. So always remember the bad things like sugars, sodium, not bad, but if you know what I mean, the things that may be harmful for you. If it's a higher percentage than 15, or is going towards 15 and above, then you know that that it's a food that may be harmful for you.
All right. So from what I take there, the golden rule of thumb that I would use after listening to you just say that is, if it's in the top 3 ingredients, salt, sugars, or anything else, like fats, then
unhealthy fats.
Unhealthy fats. So if it's in top 3, be careful. And if the percentage is low, or of the fats or the salt or the sugar is high, greater than 15%, then we know we're in a danger zone. All right. So that's a basic rule of thumb that people could use when they go into the supermarket. Now, James, that's fine. And then, but how could you compare 2 similar products? I don't know, like let's say canned foods and so on, right? How would, I mean, people in China eat a lot of canned foods, a lot of our stuff is come from canned food. But how do you know which ones to choose? Or should you be eating any canned foods at all?
Well, the thing about canned foods, it should be limited as much as possible.
Why?
Because of the amount of sodium in it and the amount of preservatives that's found in it.
All right.
The thing about canned foods, they have a lot of hidden sodium.
All right, so let's restructure this question a bit, James.
Okay.
When we go into the supermarket in a whole, what sections we should avoid?
Okay, so
if we want to live a healthy lifestyle.
Okay, so what we should avoid is all the items that are processed, that are overly processed.
Right.
So, in the 80s and 90s, the American companies used to come out with take the cereal, which would be part of a healthy breakfast.
Correct.
But the thing about cereal is that cereal is highly processed with corn, a lot of flour, a lot of other things, even though they loaded with a lot of vitamins and minerals, right? So anything that's pre-packaged or processed or highly processed, right, try to stay away from. So what you're looking for is more whole foods, right? Fruits, vegetables, staples such as tubers such as potatoes, sweet potatoes, vegetables. Those are the things that you should be looking for more. Right? Try to stay away from things, as I said, that may be highly processed, so things that are high in sugar, high in salt, high in fat.
So the cereal section, but then I mean, I agree with you, and I mean there's very little nutrient in a lot of the traditional cereals and cornflakes, for example. But then you see other sorts of cereals that they say are really are healthy, or they claim to be healthy on the box, that might have more nuts and grains and oats and stuff like that. How do you determine which one of those products is actually healthy and which one is not?
By the ingredient listing, right? So let's take an example that's Quaker Oats compared to a cereal. Right? Quaker Oats is, what's Quaker Oats? What does it have? Quaker Oats.
Oats.
Oats alone, right? What does cereal have? You see niacin and all these other different ingredients, additives and colorants and all these things, and they will have claims that is high in fiber. And yes, it may be high in fiber, but you have to understand it comes with some sort of
I understand your point.
with some sort of extra thing in it,
Right.
Because to make that food taste that way, they have to put some sort of additive, something to enhance it. While something like oats.
All right. So a lot of the traditional diets for breakfast, for example, in Trinidad, obviously cereals, which we just discussed, but people might eat a lot of like meats, like the cold meats, the cold cuts, like the hams and the turkeys or sausages, and then canned foods as well, corned beef, Vienna sausages, that type of stuff. What do you have to say about that?
Right. So when it comes to the processed stuff, the canned stuff and those things, you should limit and avoid that as much as possible.
Why?
Also.
Why is that so?
Because of the hidden sodium in it.
Right.
All these foods have a lot of sodium nitrate. Right. Sodium nitrate and all these other things. Now, they can harm you twofold. One, it can damage your kidneys. Right. Because of the amount and it's not a nutritional source of meat or whatever. But two, it can be cancer causing. Right? The sodium nitrate and all these things can be harmful for the body. Right? So when it comes to what we say the processed meats like the corned beef and stuff like that. And I'll give people this story. When you cook a piece of chicken, it turns from pink to white. When you cook a piece of beef, it turns from pink to brown. When you cook some corned beef, what color does it turn?
It stays
red.
Red.
Right, it stays red. And another thing too, and I'll give you a little story, right? When you're younger, we see corned beef, so we used to have dogs and stuff like that by us. And a day I opened a tin of corned beef. Cooking the corned beef and thing. And then after, my mom said, James, why don't you go and feed the dogs? So we had some canned dog food there. And when I opened that canned dog food, and I put it in that thing, I see, but this thing smelling very familiar, right? And it smelled similar to corned beef.
I suppose it's the process of just basically grinding up leftover meat and bone and fat and everything to make a final product.
To make a final product.
A meat-like product, which is the equivalent, I suppose, is Spam in America too.
Exactly.
Right? So I get your point. So we stay away from that section. Sometimes we have the knowledge and we still go ahead and do it, but there's a lot of people who do not have the knowledge of what to avoid and why to avoid it, and that's why we're doing this program. So anything else in the supermarket that you wanted to tell the public about in terms of the labels and so on, and where to go to?
Okay, so
in the supermarket.
So if you're getting any sort of low-fat products, make sure it's not loaded with sugar. Okay. And honestly, full-fat products may not be as bad as you think, right? Full-fat products, because the thing about healthy fats, it helps you burn fat and lose fat. A lot of people, they don't know that, right? So be careful of the low-fat products that loaded with sugar, right? Look out for products like, stay away from things like soft drinks.
Of course.
And juice drinks and all these things.
Loaded with sugar.
Loaded with sugar, but also loaded with high fructose corn syrup. Stay away from things like pancake syrup. What's
the difference between sugar and high fructose corn syrup? Because it's sweet as well, isn't it? High fructose. Why do they put high fructose corn syrup, if you know the answer, into these foods? What do we get out of that? Why do they do that? What is it?
So high fructose corn syrup is a syrup that's refined from corn, right? The reason why they use there are two reasons why they use high fructose corn syrup. One, it increases the shelf life of the product. And two, it's cheaper to produce than sugar. Right? So high fructose corn syrup is found in different types of products. It's found in jams, it's found in jellies, it's found in juices, but juice drinks, it can be a juice. It's found in pancake syrup. It's even found in sauces, like things like honey mustard sauce, salad dressings, and also ketchup. Right, barbecue sauce. So it's found in a variety of products. Now the reason why they use it, because as I said, it's cheaper than sugar. Now the difference between sugar and high fructose corn syrup is the amount of fructose in it. Now fructose is a chemical that's naturally found in fruits. Okay. The thing about fructose is that it's not really metabolized. It's not used up in your body. Right. It's broken down it's broken down in the body. Now, high fructose, because high fructose corn syrup has so much fructose in it, 80% fructose. It goes straight to your liver. Now, your brain doesn't use fructose as energy or anything like that. So it has to metabolize it somehow. Now, the only way it metabolizes in your liver, and what it does, it enhances fat production. So fructose, too much fructose in the body, and there's not fructose from fruits, right? Because you don't have enough fruit.
This is the artificial fructose you're talking
artificial
about.
Fructose I'm speaking about, right? The high fructose corn syrup or the corn syrup or whatever, or the modified corn syrup or whatever, right? When this type of corn syrup, this type of sugar goes in the liver and causes fatty retention. So it causes your body to store fat.
And also produce a condition called fatty liver as well.
Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Okay, so it encourages fatty liver disease and encourages insulin resistance and all these things.
And as a doctor, I could tell you that we've seen a lot of patients with fatty liver here in Trinidad as well. A lot of patients with that. So I think a lot of our medical conditions that we see, and it has to be traced back to what you were saying there, a lack of understanding of what we're eating, and also a lack of options, would you say? Because when you talk about high fructose corn syrup, when you go in the supermarket shelf, it's every product.
Almost every product, yes. Yes. So I always try to tell people, like, anytime you see anything with high fructose corn syrup, just leave it. Just leave it away. Just leave it away.
I'm going to move a little bit away from that. During the pandemic, we were constantly getting information from the authorities and so on in weekly meetings that, people need to stay healthy. that their background health was one of the more important aspects of fighting off or surviving or recovering from COVID. Those people who had background medical illnesses, not even background medical illnesses, but those people that weren't healthy and weren't exercising and were on a poor diet, who had higher risk of suffering complications from COVID. Now, that's as far as the information kind of went a lot to the public, and the message was repeated along those lines. But I asked myself, nobody went further to educate the public about the diet and what diet is helpful and what diet is proper, beyond superficial slides and so on. What did you, as a nutritionist, tell your clients or your patients to eat and drink to help them fight the COVID infection?
Right. So first thing first, well, I got COVID myself, right? So just to let you know.
No, anybody could get COVID.
Yeah.
But the benefit of proper nutrition is that it might have helped you not suffer severe consequences from it.
So what I did, first thing first, I hydrated a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing. Keep the mucous membrane healthy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but hydrating doesn't necessarily mean water alone.
Yeah.
So having things like vegetable broths, bone broths, a lot of ginger tea, like
why is bone broths important? What is bone broths?
Bone broth is when you, okay, so it's broth that's derived from bones.
Obviously,
okay,
yeah.
from bones, right? So it could be chicken bone, fish bones, and
Right.
what? So I'll tell you.
Like what we call local soup then.
Like chicken foot soup.
Yeah, right.
So what they use, so to make the bone broth, they cook it in like a pressure cooker for like a period of time, like 12 hours to 24 hours.
Yeah.
They add things like apple cider vinegar, vegetables and stuff like that, and they strain the bones and the vegetables and stuff like that. Now the thing about bone broth is that it's a liquid that can help you to, it's kind of like a healing liquid, as we say, right?
Yeah.
So if you have stomach problems,
Yeah.
right? If you're recovering from something,
Yeah.
a bone broth or vegetable broth is one of the best things that can help you like reset.
Chicken soup.
Like a chicken soup, right?
Yeah.
With all the bones.
Right.
With all the chicken, I mean.
Right. But what vitamins and nutrients is there in that? Like, if you could, are you able to identify them?
Okay, so I could tell you, first of all, protein, collagen, vitamin C, right? From the carrots and whatever you put in it, vitamin A, a lot of vitamin Bs, right? That all depends on the meat. Vitamin B12, right?
I suppose you get some electrolytes in there as well with different vegetables.
You get some electrolytes in there, some potassium, right?
Yeah. So it's like a vitamin shot.
Right, it's like a vitamin and mineral shot.
Yeah. So other than you advising your clients to drink lots of water and bone broths, what else did you advise them to eat?
Right, so
to keep their immunity strong.
So foods that are rich in vitamin C.
Okay.
Foods, that's things like citrus fruits, of course.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be citrus, but citrus foods, so like oranges, portugals.
Yeah.
You can get even like.
What's the best citrus fruit for pound for nutritional value? I've heard people say the guava is one of the most nutritious foods in terms of, if you could answer the question.
Well, yeah, people say, right, guava. Now it depends on the region that you're in.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say, when it comes to, not fruit, right?
Yeah.
But what they're saying, one of the foods that has the highest amount of vitamin C is broccoli, actually.
Broccoli, yeah.
Broccoli.
Yeah, broccoli is fantastic.
Broccoli and tomatoes.
And fruit-wise, so you're saying that citrus fruits are very important for vitamin C?
So citrus fruits, you can also get your vitamin C from vegetables.
Yeah.
Even from things like sweet potatoes. You can get vitamin C from it, right?
Right. So you hammered into your clients lots of vitamin C.
Lots of vitamin C.
And you give them the list of fruits and vegetables.
List of fruits and vegetables, right?
Yeah.
Also, you can use vitamin D. Right, a lot of people they do talk about vitamin D. You get vitamin D from things like sunlight, of course. Right?
Yeah.
But egg yolks, flaxseed, salmon, fatty fish.
Sunlight as well.
Sunlight as well, as you
so
said.
what does vitamin do for how does vitamin D help someone?
Right. So vitamin D it helps with the immune system, meaning that it has a compound in the body.
Yeah.
Forgot the compound, right?
That's all right.
It has a compound in the body that it helps utilize. It helps as a. Okay, so you know that vitamin C is an antioxidant?
Correct.
Right. But it helps, vitamin D can help remove cell debris.
Right.
right? So vitamin D helps remove cell debris. So hence, once you remove a lot of cell debris from the body and all those things, you heal faster.
And it's
heal
also
better.
used in hormone synthegenesis in the body. It keeps your hormones good.
Right.
And it's really ironic too, because in Trinidad, although we have sunlight, we starting to see patients with vitamin D
Deficiencies.
Which the older folks in Trinidad would have never seen a generation that had vitamin D deficiency. So we actually give people a lot of vitamin D supplements now, and certainly recommended that people go out to the sunlight. Anything else they told your patients other than to keep them strong?
Zinc.
Zinc.
Yeah, having a lot of zinc. No, you get zinc from, of course, seafood and stuff. Seafood is the best source of zinc, of course. Fruits and vegetables, you don't really find any rich sources of zinc from seafood, but sorry about that, from fruits and vegetables, but you get it from seafood. Right? A lot of seafood and those things, zinc, and also, last but not least, vitamin A. Right? The beta carotene, which is things like orange fruits and vegetables, and
all right. So let me ask you a question before we go to break, James. During the Delta virus outbreak, right, of COVID, which was a deadly one, I mean, you're a man that's physically fit. I know you do a lot of exercise. But what was your typical lunch and dinner like? If you guys give us a little idea.
Very simple. For lunch, I'll eat a normal thing like rice, maybe peas and some veg, like eggplant, and maybe some chicken.
So what the eggplant did for you? What sort of vitamins that would give you?
Well, the eggplant is rich in...
melanogen.
Melanogen, right?
Yeah.
Eggplant is rich in vitamin B, right? B2, B5, B6.
Wow.
It's also rich in vitamin... It has a little bit of vitamin C, but it has more things like potassium. It has potassium, it has magnesium.
Which is essential for cell health.
Right, manganese. Right, exactly. And also, and for dinner time, I always try to, not all the time, like things like soups or
the broths and stuff like you're talking about.
Soup and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's sometimes, not all the time, of course.
Of course. So the majority of the time, you try to eat along that line.
Yeah, I try to eat as healthy as I can.
Right, and that boosts the immunity to prevent you from getting infections and flus and so on.
Yeah.
James, we're going to rush off that little break.
Okay.
So guys, we're here with Mr. James Harper. James Harper, everyone. It's really interesting discussion. We're live tonight. It's Wednesday, 26th of October. This is not a repeat program. James has really in-depth knowledge on diet and nutrition, and I'd certainly like you at home to take advantage of the opportunity, pick his brain. So please feel free to call in, to text in, to message in with your questions, and James will do his very best to give you the best advice. Thank you very much, guys. We'll be back in one moment.
Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice.
ACTN The Voice, your family-friendly station.
And when God sends a word, it serves a purpose. It serves a purpose because you serve a purpose. When you hear no, I want you to think next. So if God didn't let me do that, next. Jesus didn't call them to leave their boats. He called them to push out a little. It's a little decision so that I would rely on the grace of God. It's the blessing of both.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're here tonight with my good friend, Mr. James Harper, a nutritionist, and he's here to talk about healthy foods and healthy eating. James, the big question, a patient asked me this in the clinic today, and I told them I'd ask you on air tonight when I met you. They said, Dr. Roopnarine, is vitamin supplements and tablets as efficient as getting it from diet? And the second question they asked is, and the second comment they made was, I have heard, and I've also heard it myself, that vitamin tablets and supplements are a big hoax, that sometimes they're a waste of time and the patient passes it out in their urine and they don't absorb it. How would you answer that question, James?
Okay.
Because it's a billion-dollar industry, and we certainly want people to know the truth.
Okay, so
Vitamins is a billion-dollar industry.
it is. So big pharma, right?
Big pharma, yeah.
Big pharma. So when it comes to vitamins and mineral supplements, now I'm an advocate
Yeah.
of eating healthy,
Yes.
right? Let thy food be thy medicine, and let thy medicine be thy food. Okay?
All right, you can repeat that?
Let thy food be thy medicine, and let thy medicine be thy food.
Okay.
Right? So I'm a big advocate for that, but I do not debunk the fact that sometimes supplementation and vitamins, vitamin and mineral supplementation is needed.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. Somebody who's anemic,
Yeah.
right? You could give them all the liver, all the bhaji in the world. It will not help with
Yeah, depending on the level.
with their condition, right?
Yeah, good point.
And it has different types of anemia. A lot of people don't know that they have
Yeah.
they have iron deficiency, you
Yeah,
have
good point.
pernicious, you have
Yeah.
megaloblastic, you have different
Yeah.
types of
Yes,
anemia.
yes, of course.
And the only way for you to actually counteract anemia is
Yeah.
through, but depends on the type of anemia, of course,
Yeah.
through supplementation.
Good point. That's for somebody with a medical condition.
Right.
And someone who's trying to prevent themselves from getting sick. I mean, the pharmacies were being sold out of all the vitamin supplements during the COVID, right?
Right, yeah.
How effective, if you could give it a percentage, like would that have been over a healthy diet?
Well, I think what these
Or is it that we sorry to interrupt.
Not a problem.
Or is it that it's so hard to get a healthy diet that we just get these supplements?
That's another thing too.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of like a two-edged sword. Now,
Yeah.
when it comes to a healthy diet, sometimes it's hard because sometimes you don't know what is a healthy diet. If you understand what I mean, there's so much different definitions of a healthy
Yeah.
diet. And when COVID was going around, I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't know about the virus and all those things. So
Yeah.
everybody just wanted that extra protection.
Good point.
Right?
Yeah.
So, as I say, I'm not against supplementation because sometimes we do need it. So, like somebody who's an athlete,
Yeah.
right? I'm not for the creatinine and the steroids and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But sometimes, to get the best out
Okay.
of you,
Okay.
sometimes you need things like branching amino acids.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might need other things to help you. So, as opposed to, I believe that if you're a healthy person and you're able to get all your vitamins and minerals from the food that you eat,
Yeah.
you don't need it. But
Yeah.
if you're a person, you might need that extra something,
Yeah.
right? So, you might need that extra something, then vitamin supplementation may be a benefit for you.
All right.
And the second question,
Yes.
when it comes to when it comes to certain types of vitamins, yes, you do pee it away, as they say,
Yeah.
especially vitamin Bs,
Yeah.
right? Because vitamin Bs are water
And
soluble.
vitamin C's as well.
Vitamin C's, right?
Yeah.
Vitamin Bs and C's are water
Yeah.
soluble. And you have to be very careful of taking too much vitamins because of vitamin toxicity,
Yeah.
especially ADEK.
Yeah.
ADEK are what you call fat soluble vitamins,
Yeah.
right? So the excess vitamin B and C, you just pee it away, right? You
Correct.
see like neon urine, right?
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
Neon urine. That's the pantothenic acid. That's vitamin B5.
Okay.
Okay. Now, usually, so that's why I get that neon color.
Yes.
But vitamin A, D, E, K, sometimes the thing about it is that if you have too much of it, it
Yes.
stays in your liver for
Right.
quite some time.
Right.
So be very careful of that.
Yeah.
Also, multivitamins, right? So if I do have to recommend like vitamins for anyone, just to be
Yeah.
on the safe side, I would
Yeah.
say use vitamin B.
Vitamin B.
Vitamin B complex,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The excess, you use it,
Yeah. Whatever is not absorbed.
Yeah, what is not
Whatever you
absorbed.
don't need, you pass it
you
off.
pass
in
it
your
off. Because if you and myself, if we take like something with a multivitamin with a lot of iron in it,
urine.
we get constipated
Yeah.
as men.
Yeah.
Because we don't need all that iron
Yeah.
in our
No, you
bodies.
make a very good point. I mean, the point is that if you're taking a lot of, we just willy-nilly sometimes stock up on a lot of vitamins and take a lot of vitamins, and you're saying that hey, it's not necessarily as safe as you think that vitamins not going to harm you by taking too much.
Yeah.
And you're right. Certainly, a lot of these things are metabolized by the liver, and the liver is under a lot of insult as we say in medicine already, from our lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes it causes yourself liver problems by trying to help yourself.
Exactly.
and sometimes you may be spending thousands of dollars when you don't really need something that you could invest that money back towards food. And sometimes a lot of it is passed in urine.
Yeah.
It's lost in urine. So James, I just want to move you along a little bit again.
Okay.
How do you, as a nutritionist, help someone who's, let's say, probably a little bit like me, a little bit overweight, but however don't have any chronic diseases,
Okay.
and wants to stay healthy, right? How does a nutritionist help someone? Because it's very well and good. People come to the office, they come to my office, they come to go to other doctors' offices. A doctor goes, listen, you need to lose weight, you need to eat healthy. And obviously, I mean, you're someone who's a allied medical professional, and obviously there's a lot of the importance or the message or the education is lost. A doctor says, eat healthy, lose weight. That we don't even know if the patient knows what that is, and maybe they do know what it is, but they don't have a great amount of knowledge on it.
Yeah.
And it becomes a difficult process. So how do you as a nutritionist help someone to lose weight? And losing weight is important for someone's health.
Yeah.
How do you help them?
So first thing first, the first thing that I always deal with, first thing what I always tell them is we have to find out what is the root of the problem.
Yeah.
Right? Now, usually it's usual suspects that causes weight loss, that causes weight gain, right?
Yeah.
Or for you to retain weight.
Yeah.
But the number one thing that causes people to gain weight or not reach their goals is misinformation.
Exactly. And I'd just like to say that myself and another doctor, Dr. Sadio, met up a few weeks ago, and you all said the same thing at the same time. You all said, and we're talking about diabetes. And what did you all say about diabetes?
We said that 90% of diabetes is diet. If you want to overcome
And education.
And education, yes.
You said
education.
that, and Dr. Sadio specifically said that, and something that stuck with me, diabetes care is 90% education. And that's a reality, and it's not being done in the doctor's offices because the doctor might be busy, and that's why people like yourself, allied medical professionals, need to step up into the spotlight, and certainly need to interact with the community. So that's my push for you to do that. So tell us, how do you help someone lose weight?
Right. So first of all, what we try to find out is their habits.
Yeah.
Right. Now, it's not about the diet sheets. It's not about the big changes.
Yeah.
It's about your daily habits and what you do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So what I try to do, or what I attempt to do, is trying to see what are your habits that may be keeping you at this state, and then I have to find solutions to that problem. Right. So sometimes it might be like, because a lot of people, they put in a lot of effort in trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
But they're not losing the weight.
Yeah.
And it's not their effort, it's your system.
Okay.
Right? I always tell people it's not your effort, it's your system.
So you're trying to tell them basically work smarter,
Exactly.
not necessarily harder.
Not necessarily. Well, for some people, they have to work harder.
Yeah.
And this is what I always tell my patients. Weight loss doesn't begin in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't begin in the gym. It begins with a mindset.
Okay.
You have to make up your mind, because you have to understand when it comes to weight loss is not a straightforward process.
Yeah.
It's labile, right?
Yeah.
So meaning that you're going to lose weight by your face, you're going to lose by your chest, you're going to lose, and then after you might lose 5 pounds and then put on another 3 pounds, and then after a while you reach that set point when you start to lose the weight.
Yeah.
So
Success is never linear.
it's never linear. It's always
It's
ups
up
and
and down,
downs,
up and
and that is weight loss.
Right.
So what I try to get them mentally prepared for the journey, because it's not only about diet, and because you have to understand. And
So you'll tell your patient that, listen, you gotta be very prepared to put back on weight in between the weight loss journey.
right, I tell my patients,
Interesting.
you're going to fall short,
Yeah.
right? You're not going to follow all the directions every day, right? Life happens,
Yeah.
right? And the thing about it is that people have this extreme way of doing things. So they either go all in or they go all out. And sometimes, I mean, and it's good if you want to go in, and you want to put 100%. But you can't really, I mean, let's all be honest, life is going to happen. A birthday party might come up, unexpected death, COVID, different things come up, and you have to adapt and suit. So a lot of people, what they do, they fall off and they say, well, I do it for this week, and they just went back into that, because usually when things get uncomfortable, what people do, they go back
to
into
old habits.
they go back into old habits.
All right. So that's the mental part of it. You
Right.
prepare them mentally.
Yes. mentally.
Now, what else do you do for them other than the mental preparation for a hard journey ahead? Because it seems to me that everybody in this type of world, and the people that come in and speak to me as well, everybody wants a quick weight loss solution. That's what's advertised all over the media, right? Do this, you lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. Take this injection, take this treatment, you lose 20 pounds, you lose 30 pounds. It's really attractive to the people. And then that's one. And then they also tell people, come in, you get a fixed diet sheet. You live on this diet sheet, you lose 50 pounds in whatever, you know? It's real good marketing strategies. I want you to speak to that. And I'd like to ask you as well, how do you stop people from yo-yoing? Because diets, it seems to me in my experience as well, that fixed, rigid diets is a really yo-yo experience. When you come off, you guys put back on the weight, and then you go back again, you go back, you lose weight, and you put it back on.
Right.
So what's your approach to those sort of diet fads?
Right. So
As you negatively call them, diet fads.
So first of all, as I said before, it's not the effort, it's your system. And you always need a system that can help you to reach to that particular goal. So you don't use diets, but you use principles
Right.
that can help you to do that, right?
Yeah.
So most of the times, the usual suspects is people usually eat not even calories, right?
Yeah.
I won't even say calories.
Yeah.
They eat usually too much carbs,
Yeah.
too much processed foods,
Right.
right? Or they believe that they're eating healthy and they're not eating healthy.
Right.
So what I do, I prepare them by, as I said, if your problem is eating too much processed foods, if your problem is eating too much processed foods, my goal for 1 month would be for you to cut down on the amount of processed food that you eat on a daily basis.
Right.
Right? If your problem is things like, I'll just call on some other. If your problem is sugar, you
Right.
like to eat a lot of sugar,
Yeah.
right? What I would do is tell you, okay, this is the amount of sugar that you eat on a daily basis. What you can do bit by bit, you wean off.
All right. So you
This is
basically use the approach of eliminating
moderation, right?
So Josh, I think we'll take a little break now. James, we'll take our next little break. And when we come back, I'm very well aware that we have loads of questions coming in, James.
Okay.
And we'll go directly to answer them. But I think you need a little 2 minutes to get a cup of water there.
Okay.
All right, guys, so we'll be back in 1 moment.
Don't forget who you are and whose you are. If it doesn't scare me, it's not big enough. I'll never be the same. Never, never, never. I'll never be the same. In Jesus' name.
Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice.
ACTN The Voice, your family-friendly station.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're here with James Harper. James Harper, everyone. So, Josh, we have some questions for the nutritionists. Could you put them up, please? Some feedback. Good, James. What about oil? What are good oils? What are good oils should I be using if I have high cholesterol? James?
Okay. So,
That's a good question.
great question.
Yeah.
So when it comes to oils, right? The type of oils that you should be using is either olive oil, or extra virgin olive oil, or cold pressed coconut oil. If you have to use anything like a spread for your bread or anything like that, or want to cook with anything else, butter. Reason being because all these oils are rich in polyunsaturated fats and monounsaturated fats. try to deviate and stay away from things like canola oil, vegetable oil, soybean oil, because all these oils are genetically modified and also highly refined.
Yeah. Yeah. What about coconut oil, James? Is it good? Is it bad? What's the verdict? In my medical textbook, back in the late 90s, it was bad.
Yeah, and I'll give you the reason why.
It's bad or is it good?
It's great.
It's great for you.
It's great for you, actually.
All right, well, that's why it's great for us.
It's great for you, because especially now there's different types of coconut oil, right?
Yeah.
Now the coconut oil they used a long time ago to
Yeah.
but the oil that I'm talking to you about is cold pressed coconut oil.
Cold pressed coconut oil.
Cold pressed coconut oil as
Yeah.
one of the best oils that you can use. Extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed
We still
coconut oil.
manufacture those things locally.
Yeah, we still have those things. And also butter. Those are
Yeah.
the three things that I always tell people. Now,
Yeah.
I always ask people this. What is the canola plant?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? There's no such thing as the canola plant.
Yeah.
Canola oil is a genetically modified oil
Okay.
from Canada, right?
Okay.
Do you squeeze a carrot and get oil out of it?
No.
Do you squeeze a piece of broccoli
No.
or cauliflower?
No.
So what's
canola?
what's vegetable oil?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have to understand what happened in those days.
Yeah.
Right? The people who came up with canola oil and all those things
Yeah.
skewed their studies
Yeah.
to make coconut oil and all these other coconut oil to seem as such a bad oil.
Right.
But the thing about it, studies have shown that coconut oil can actually help lower your cholesterol.
Yeah.
Because the monounsaturated fats in it, and also it also has stearic acid in it that can
Yeah.
help lower your cholesterol. What it does, it lower your bad cholesterol and raises up your good cholesterol, your
Right.
HDLs and stuff like that.
What I'm hearing back from you is a big push towards eating local,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's a big push towards reducing the food import bill there.
Yeah.
The health. You push forward a big argument that a lot of the non-local foods that we import is not great for us.
No.
And that's wonderful information for the public. And the bigger argument you put forward is from, as people say, as the farmers have always been telling us, from farm to table, very little steps.
Very little stuff.
Very little steps. And that once we have steps involved in that process, it's problems being put into that process for us.
Yeah.
You can take the next question there, Josh. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? Very good question. So James, I've been hearing about intermittent fasting. Patients are coming in saying, I do intermittent fasting, I lost all this weight, I'm feeling really good, my HbA1c, my diabetes is under control. It seems like a fairly new topic to me. Tell me, what is intermittent fasting, and what's your thoughts on it?
Okay, so intermittent fasting is it's a method by which you have periods of fasting to periods of feasting or eating. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So I'll say it over again. So
Yeah.
intermittent fasting is the method by which they have periods of fasting to periods of eating. Now, the thing about intermittent fasting, it helps with different things. So it helps with things like your immune system, it helps with lowering your blood sugar levels, it helps with fat loss, especially visceral fat loss. It helps with a whole lot of different things. But intermittent fasting, what it does, it releases or reduces the negative effects of insulin resistance. Now, a lot of people, what they fail to realize is that insulin resistance is the root cause of a lot of lifestyle diseases, such as type 2 diabetes, hypertension, PCOS, high cholesterol, all these other things. Some of the root cause of some of these diseases is insulin resistance. Okay, so what intermittent fasting does, it helps counteract all of that by burning fat faster, helps you burn sugar, right? It helps with the immune system, as I said. And so I believe in intermittent fasting. I'm a strict advocate of intermittent fasting. I'll give you a personal story, right? In 2019, I was actually 251 pounds.
251 pounds.
251 pounds. Right now, I'm 210.
Wow.
Right? I was working out twice a week, not twice a week, actually twice a day for 3 times a week, working real hard, doing kickboxing, all these other things, right? And I was not losing the weight. I came across intermittent fasting and I started doing it. Okay? Starts off slow at first. And then from there, I realized I started seeing results. Now, the thing about intermittent fasting, it doesn't really target weight loss. What it targets is fat loss, right? And once you target fat loss, the weight eventually comes down. I always tell people, when you're trying to lose weight, don't look at the scale. Look at your waist circumference. That's a clear sign that fat is burning, especially liver fat, visceral fat, right? So I'm an advocate, right, for intermittent fasting.
Very good. Is there any negative effects? Can older people do it? Is it safe for older people to do it? All patient groups?
I believe that anyone can do it. It just depends on how much you do and how many times you do it.
So I suppose the dietitian would sort of streamline it for the individual patient.
Well, a lot of dietitians and nutritionists wouldn't really do that for patients, wouldn't really streamline that for patients. Now, I'm an advocate for it, so but it only depends on the readiness of the patient. Right? Because intermittent fasting is something that...
But I'm asking, is it safer for older patients?
It is.
Okay.
It is. The older patients can have it. And I'll give you a story. I have a patient, she's in her 60s. She was in a diabetic coma, 15. Right? She got up. I did a session with her. I explained to her everything. I explained to her about intermittent fasting. With intermittent fasting, with the regime, she lost 40 pounds. Her A1C went on from 15 to 6. Right, after a year. And so for her, she saw a lot of results from intermittent fasting.
Okay. All right, so let's have the next question there, Josh. Yeah, I'm under some pressure. What is your opinion on plant-based diet and the keto diet? Good question as well. Plant-based diet. Is meat bad for us, James?
Excessive amount of meat, yes.
All right. So like you know, I mean, like you're eating too much meat. It's excessive amount of meat is bad for us.
Yes, excessive amount of meat. Now, people give this. Is
a vegetarian diet healthier than a normal diet? It's a blunt question.
Okay, so I'm going to say that. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I believe in having everything, right? Now, as I said, people may not believe in the meat and stuff like that. Now, I believe that there's a flaw in the vegan diet. I'm going to say it very bluntly, because you need to take some sort of supplementation when you're on a vegan diet. Okay? So, I believe that, now, for some people that works. If you understand what I mean, going vegan and stuff like that, you know, because people will say things like, you know, eating meat will give you cancer and all these things. But it are people who are vegan, who are diabetic, who got cancer.
Of course.
Got the same amount of things, right? Because just saying, when it comes to like vegetables, they put in a lot of pesticides and herbicides in these vegetables that are cancer causing. Right? Same thing with meat. Now, when it comes to eating too much meat, when you say a high protein diet, I believe what they mean is not the quantity of your protein. I believe what they believe is the quality of your protein. Right? So eating too much animal-based protein can be harmful for you, right? Because it doesn't really spike up your blood sugar, but it causes fat production and inflammation, right? So what I tell people is that some days just don't eat any meat. That's a
balance in that.
That's a balance. You don't have to eat meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can eat meat for just lunch. And you could go, you know, meatless, or you could have meat today and tomorrow don't eat any meat whatsoever.
What is the second part of the question? What is the keto diet?
All right, so the keto diet is when you go on a low carb diet and you're using fats as a source of your energy, right? Or you go into ketogenesis, right?
So I suppose the principle is what? Keto, carbohydrates.
Deprivation.
Carbohydrate deprivation. And I suppose a lot of the diabetics have their spikes in their sugars because of eating too much carbs. So we tell diabetics to cut back from carbs. So is that incorrect? Is that when we tell diabetics cut back from the carbs, is that pushing them towards a keto diet?
It could be pushing them towards that. Now the thing about it, the keto diet is not made for everyone, right? Because it's a hard diet to maintain, right? I even tried the keto diet and it was hard for me to maintain, right? So what I always tell people is to go on a low carb or reduced carb diet, right? So using the same principles, going on a reduced carb or low carb, right? Doesn't mean no carb. So you can still have complex carbs like sweet potato, yam, quinoa, all these type of complex carbs, right? You can still have those complex carbs, still have the high fat and the moderate amounts of protein, right? The Atkins diet, which is different, which is kind of similar to keto diet, it incorporates a lot of meat, okay?
Yeah.
But the keto diet incorporates a lot of fat, using fat as energy,
Right.
right? So but you can do something called a modified or a targeted keto diet.
Right.
And that's what I believe is the best thing. So you can still have your carbs, you know, to say you can still have your cake and eat it.
Yeah.
So you can still have your carbs,
Yeah.
right? Your complex carbs,
Yeah.
but still go take. So what I always tell people is like, diabetics, very simple. As your day goes along, let your carb intake decrease.
Okay.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
So in the nighttime, you go very low carb.
Right.
So what that does, it helps with your fasting blood sugars in the morning.
Right,
It
right,
helps
right.
you. It helps your body to reset.
Right.
You don't eat too much, you know, your blood sugars won't spike. Because you
Yeah.
know, in the nighttime, because of dawn phenomenon and
Yeah.
all these other things,
Yeah.
when your blood sugar spikes and those things,
Yeah.
your hormones, you know, like your growth hormone and all those things
Everything
are
spikes.
very high, right?
Correct.
Cortisol and stuff like that is high when you're sleeping at
Yeah.
night. So when you go low carb at night,
Yeah.
you don't have any high insulin spikes, which won't cause all these hormones to be high, which will actually get lower blood sugar levels after, you know, like a delayed period of time. But that's from things. So
Okay.
balancing your carbs like that.
All right, so the take-home message that viewer is that yes, a keto diet is a very rigid diet, and a lot of the patients wouldn't be able to stand total elimination of carbohydrates
Sustain
and sustain it for a long period of time. And what you recommend is more a modified keto, where you just go with small amounts of carbohydrates during the day and more complex sources of carbohydrates. All right, then. So, Josh, any more questions we have there? Please share your intermittent fasting hours. All right, I'm not sure what that is.
Okay, so all right, so
Please share your intermittent fasting hours, 18 or 16 or 12, 14. Okay, they're asking you about your personal experience there.
okay, so when I started off, so I'll give you my personal experience. When I
Yeah.
started off intermittent fasting,
Yeah.
I started off very small.
Yeah.
So I started doing 12-hour fasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12-hour fast, right?
Yeah.
So like sun up to sundown and those things, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, after a month, when my body got accustomed to 12 hours, I started raising by 1 hour increments.
Yeah.
So like 13 hours, 14 hours, 15 hours, until I reached 16 hours. Now, the different types of regimens are 16-8, right? That means you're fasting for 16 hours
Yeah.
and feasting for 8. You have the 24, which is you're fasting for 20 hours and feasting or eating for 4.
Yeah.
There's the 24-hour fast, where you're fasting for a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
There's the 36-hour fast, where you're fasting for 36 hours, right?
Yeah.
There's the 5-2 method, where you're eating normal for 5 days, and you're going low calorie, like 500 calories for
Yeah.
2 days. And there's also the caveman diet, right, where you eat fruits and vegetables and small pieces of meat and stuff like that. Now, when I started at 12.
Yeah.
I raised my way up to 16, and I was doing 16 a little more often.
Okay.
Now, remember this: when you're doing intermittent fasting, the shorter fast, the more frequently you have to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're doing fasting like 16 hours, like 12 hours to 16 hours, even to 18 hours,
Yeah.
it has to be every day,
Right.
or every other
James,
day.
I hear you. I mean, it's information that people ask, that it's things that are out there, right? But I have this one big question to you. Is that not another form of fad dieting? Is that not people that's looking for a quick fix to lose a huge amount of weight? That's the vibe I'm getting. And they go for this extreme diet to lose the weight, and it's not sustainable.
The thing about
Is that a valid point I'm presenting to you?
it's a valid point, but I'll explain something to you.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that they can't afford healthy foods, right?
I find that difficult to believe.
A lot of people say that. The thing about intermittent fasting is that it helps you with your food bill.
All right. Which one is more expensive, imported food or local food?
Imported food.
Right. We just went through the discussion. We realized the imported
No,
food. But I hear you. I'm not criticizing it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're discussing. We're both professionals, and we're discussing. And obviously, you have validity in what you put forward there. But I also I must also express my opinion. I feel that it might be a little too I might be wrong. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I find it just seems a little bit of a fad way to lose weight, intermittent fasting with long hours. That's my personal take on it.
Okay.
Obviously you would disagree with that, and people get benefit from it as well. And I've heard other doctors say that it's a very beneficial way to lose weight as well.
Right. So I'll explain.
Can somebody intermittent fast for the whole life?
Well, I'm not going to say they can intermittent fast for their whole life. But what I'm saying is this, right?
Yeah.
But there are people who they are seeing the benefits of it, right? Meaning that, and it's not a fat way, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, let me hear you.
The human body is not meant to be eaten all the time, right? It shows.
Right.
Okay? Fasting, whether it's a spiritual fast, whether it's intermittent fasting, whether it's religious, whatever.
Yeah.
Fasting is a way where it helps the body reset.
Yeah.
Right? If you had a bad week, say like Christmas time.
Yeah.
If you had like you went rock star for Christmas.
As most trainees do.
As most trainees do.
Yeah.
If you intermittent fast for a month or two, let's say Lent.
Yeah. All right. So you're saying it's a tool in the armory.
It is.
It's a tool in the armory.
It's a tool in the army that can.
Yeah. It's not necessarily the foundation.
It's not the foundation, but it's a tool in the armory that can help you to reach your goals.
In an educated, well-informed patient.
It's in an educated, well-informed patient. Because the thing about it is that it can help.
All right. I hear you. Josh, you'll have to help us along there. What proportion of fat, protein, carbs, fiber a female male should consume per day?
Right. So I'm going to say this.
We'll push on a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm going to say this, right?
Josh.
When it comes to these dietary recommendations, I'm going to say I don't really believe in those things. Reason being because we all have different requirements, we have different needs. Even though these standards, they might say, well, you need 4 grams of carbs per day and 6 grams of 4 grams of carbs and 4 grams of protein and whatever. My belief is that at the end of the day, we are all different.
Yeah.
Right? It all depends on your needs. It all depends on your.
Okay. So there's no fixed recipe for it.
I don't think there's a fixed recipe.
All right. Josh, I think we have time for one more question. Should proteins and carbs be eaten at certain times during the day? I think you could go through that again there, James.
Yeah. Okay. So
let's briefly. We have 1 more minute.
Right. So what I'm saying is that proteins and carbs shouldn't be really.
Okay.
When it comes to carbs.
Yeah. No problem.
As the day gets longer, your carbs should be decreasing, your carb intake should be increasing.
All right, and protein?
And protein, I believe protein should be eaten like maybe once or twice for the day.
All right, next question there, Josh. What food should menopausal, good question, boy. What food should menopausal women eat to help with metabolic problems due to low estrogen?
Ooh, that's a great question.
You might have to...
That's a great question.
That's a great question. We'll have to do some more research on it as well.
Research on that.
It's an excellent question. We might not have that straight off the top of our heads. We will do some research.
For sure.
And maybe you could just reach back out to the station in a few days' time, and we'll reach out to you with the answer. All right? So Josh, let's take a note of that, viewer. That's a good question. What is your advice on the use of lemongrass, soursop leaves, moringa, etc. in our diet? Is it safe? Those are all local sort of leaves and.
All right. So I've heard that guava leaves actually helps with blood sugar retention, blood sugar reduction, and all those things. Now, when it comes to these herbal things, you have to be very careful. I'm not saying that it doesn't work.
I know you're not saying that.
I'm not saying that it doesn't work because it worked for people, right?
Yeah.
But everything is mostly anecdotal.
And you see, the problem, viewer, is as scientists, and James falls under that category as well. In fact, he's a food chemistry scientist as well. But as scientists, it's very difficult to say yes or no to something without data and scientific studies. And lo and behold, the available scientific studies to us here as Western practitioners is very limited compared to other countries. And sometimes the hardcore scientific data is not available. right, to tell us how effective it is compared to traditional medicine or not. However, there is some studies around, and there is anecdotal evidence, right? I mean, we talk to patients, we talk to people, and we could say what our patients and what our people think. So from that viewpoint, what do you think about moringa leaves and soursop for things like hypertension, to lose weight? What's your opinion on it?
I believe, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, I've seen the benefits of using it.
Right.
For people, for patients.
Right. In terms of what?
In terms of lowering your blood pressures, controlling, like especially fasting blood sugar levels in the morning.
All right.
I've heard like when they drink it like in the nighttime, it helps them to.
And I suppose it all forms part of a healthy diet. It comes into your proper regimen of local fruits and vegetables.
But because even like the intermittent fasting, that's evidence-based, if you understand what I mean. But these things right here, there's not enough evidence for me to support it to say that. But I mean, if it's working for you.
Yeah, fine. Josh, do you have any more questions? Can you suggest foods for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? That's another program.
That's a whole program.
Viewer, that's a program we could do in the future. But we're having into specific foods. All right, guys. So we right on time there, James. So James, thank you very much for coming in tonight. It was a wealth of information from you. We agreed and disagreed on certain things, and that's what professionals do.
Correct.
Right? Because we disagree and agree because we want the best, and we think about the people, right? And we don't want to give them any wrong information. We want to make sure they're safe as well. But I certainly respect your depth of knowledge and your ability to educate the average man on the street, the patients, and the way you communicate with them. And I'd just like to thank you for coming in tonight and sharing that knowledge. And I wish you all the very best. I know you're pushing forward in your education programs, your podcast, reaching out to people all over the world to educate them about nutrition. It's your passion. And I just wholeheartedly want to wish you the very best for that effort.
And Dr. Robin, thank you so much for having me here. It was a pleasure. Had lots of fun.
All right, no problem. All right, guys. So thanks to James again, James Harper, and thanks to Joshua De Matos for helping us produce this program and helping us get through a lot of information tonight. And thanks to you at home for sending in your messages. We hope you answer them to the best of our ability, and we hope it helped you. All right, guys. So we'll see you again next week. Take care. Have a pleasant evening. Good night. God bless everyone. Take care now. Well done, Jim.
Thanks very much, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.